Good evening, everybody. I'm Ron. Welcome, everyone, to today's meditation practice. Is anyone here for the first time? How you guys doing? Welcome. We have a few announcements before we start. If you haven't already silenced your cell phones, please do so at this time and put your phones away so you can be fully present for the talk and meditation. If you must use your phone, do so outside the meditation hall. The center will be closed December 24th through January 1st, and all regular practices are canceled except for the year-end retreat. Please check the calendar for specifics. Our regular practices will return in the new year beginning Sunday, January 4th, for our first Sunday of the month, events with the basics of meditation at 11 a.m., followed by Sunday Chai Social Hour, hosted by our members and volunteers. Our annual year-end retreat with Geshe Phende will be held on freedom from the four attachments, an in-depth exploration on the obstacles to spiritual practice and the path to genuine freedom from December 27th through the 30th. It will consist of 3 sessions each day and is open to all. As a member's benefit, it's free for current members. Our popular 5-class foundation series, which is ideal for beginners, is taught by Geshe Ngawang Phende and begins January 10th via Zoom. This series will begin with an introduction to Buddhism and continue with retreats on 4 universal Buddhist meditation practices through May. This series is a prerequisite for the intermediate series and other retreats. As a reminder, please do not park on the grass, along the driveway, or behind the building. If the lot is full, overflow parking can be found via Skyland Drive at the John Lewis Elementary School. Only access to school parking via Skyland Drive and walk through to our site. Information on all events can be found in the lobby and on our website at drepung.org. If anyone is interested in volunteer opportunities, to get more involved in supporting our center and programs, please see me or our volunteer coordinator, Michael Duffel, who's right there in the green shirt. If you are interested in becoming a member to support our ongoing programs and take advantage of benefits like discounts on courses and retreats, applications are available in the library. You can also register online. There is a donation box near the entrance to this room, which is the little red transparent donation box outside in the hall. Your generous support helps us continue to offer programs and services like this to our Atlanta community and to those around the world through our online platforms. Now please stand as we invite our resident teacher, Geshe Phende to come in for today's talk.
Okay, now first, before start the teaching, first we're going to recite here a few prayers. And during the recitation, this prayer, I think it's very important to meditate. You know, the first mantra of Heart Sutra, when we recite this, it's good to meditate on emptiness. Empty means dependence, right? Dependent means the empty. Empty doesn't mean nothing exists. Empty, which means the empty of inherent existence. Empty of exists independently, inherently. Everything exists interconnected, right? So that's kind of one of the most difficult meditation, but it is really, really powerful. If you really understand this philosophy, the emptiness philosophy, tremendous helps you to antidote to all your mental afflictions, all your destructive emotions. That is why this meditation on emptiness is one of the most important practice, but of course it is not easy. You need to study first the philosophy, you know, what's really emptiness, what that really means. It's not just, you know, few words, you know, we just say, oh, empty means blah, blah, blah. It's not just that way. Also, you have to think, you need to analyze, investigate, and finally to experience. And that's how you put it into the meditation. But at least if you do not know this philosophy, and during this prayer, at least set up the good intention, which means wish entire beings be free from suffering, wish to help them, at least generating oneself and a wish to overcome all your anger, hatred, your selfish, your destructive emotions, your your ignorance, and so forth. That's why today I'm going to listen these talks. So at least like that kind of intention, it's important. Okay, so first going to recite the mantra of Heart Sutra. Tayatha gati gati paragati parasam gati bodhi soha. Tadayatha gati gati paragati parasam gati bodhi soha. Tayatha 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 gati gati paragati parasam gate bodhi soha dayata gate gate para gate parasam gate bodhi soha. Now next is the four immeasurables prayer, which are immeasurable love, compassion, joyfulness, and equanimity. So it's when we recite this prayer, same, you should meditate on the four immeasurables. So it's not just think and visualize, it's also you need to focus more in feeling. You have to really feel from your heart. When we say, may all beings have happiness, you make sure you really feel entire beings, including the people you don't like them or you hate them. Now this 2025 is almost going to finish, right? So in this year, maybe some of the people you may don't like them, you may have some issues with them. So this end of this year now, so you just feel love to them. Change. Don't hold, don't keep your anger, resentment towards them. Holding those anger and resentment towards them, it hurts you. For them, doesn't matter. It's not going to be affect anything, but it's affect to you. It can hurt you, harms you. So you need to heal. You have to heal from those resentments. So that's why when you feel love, wish them to have happiness, when you really feel it, that wish will overcome your anger, hatred, any resentment to anybody, right? When this 2025's ended, your all negative thoughts or emotions toward anybody should be ended. Cease them. Then 2026, new mind. Bring the new clean one. It's better, much better. So that's why during this prayer, you should really try to work with your emotion, to try to get rid of all your bad thoughts, bad emotions, to overcome them and try to feel, put it, love, compassion, right, joyfulness, or the equanimity. So those four immeasurables, it's very positive minds. It heals you from deep of your pain you have. It can heal. These are the pure, clean medicine. It will cure all your mental issues you have. So that's why they're doing this reciting prayer, should meditate on four immeasurables. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find a joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find a joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find a joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. Now next is the mandala offerings. Om so shi pi ji jo shi me to tama ri ra li shi ni de ke pa ti Sangye Shinto Me De Pyewaye Joy Kye Nama Da La Joy Ba Sho Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamneya Daya Me. Okay, so the mandala offering we're doing here, actually, there are many other purposes, but the one of the purpose that I always thinking that, it's showing kind of each individual wants to learn something, right? So wants to learn something for sake of overcome one's own wrong thoughts, negative emotions, or the ignorance, which are the causes of sufferings. Through understanding your own ignorance, your own misperceptions, or your own negative thoughts and emotions are the causes of your suffering. That's why you want to learn something to overcome these negative thoughts. That's why offering this mandala to the teacher, you offer a universe to the teacher and requesting, please teach me. And I'm going to learn that. And I will put it into the practice to overcome my negative thoughts, emotions. That's the one of the purpose. And the great practitioner we call Mahayana, in the Buddhist, which means not only me. I want to help to entire sentient beings. I want to save them. I really want to help them. In order to help them, right now, I cannot able to do. I myself is suffering. I myself is living with all the ignorance, destructive emotion. Therefore, in order to save to other, I need to achieve enlightenment, right? Omniscient, enlightened mind, the Buddhahood. Then I can able to save them. The purpose of seeking oneself to become enlightened being is for sake of others, to help them. That's why I want to learn. I want to cultivate my wisdom. That's why I want to learn. Therefore, I offer this mandala to the teacher for sake of achieving enlightenment oneself, for sake of all beings, called bodhicitta intention, right? So, out of those intention, then you're offering this mandala. That's the Buddhist tradition. It's before you're receiving teaching. You first need to request. So the requesting shouldn't out of selfish, out of kind of attachment and greeds. It should be comes with out of positive intention. So these are the before you're receiving teaching. It's kind of we are preparing to set up good intentions. So you're listening the teaching out of good intention. It's huge benefit to you. It helps you to overcome your mental afflictions. It helps you to grow your wisdoms. Out of negative intention, then when you listen, then how much you learn, it's instead of reducing your negative emotion, it may increase you more attachment, more greeds, more arrogance. So that's not good. So that's why before listening to any teaching, we need to set up the good intention. That's what these prayers, it's kind of the preparation. So now today the topic, I think this 2025, this must be the last topic, right, in Tuesday talk. But next week we have a retreat, so I don't think we have a Tuesday talk in the Yoma, right? Yes, so this is the last. So the topic that here we choose the patience, practice of patience and forgiveness. So patience, forgiveness, these practices are really, really useful. It's also really help you to grow your compassion and love. In order to grow the compassion, in order to develop your compassion, patience, tolerance, forgiveness are very, very important. It protects your compassion. It protects your love. Lack of patience, lack of forgiveness, your love and compassion easily destroyed by your anger, hatreds, resentments. These destructive emotions are what you call the poison. It's the most dangerous emotion. Will completely destroy your love, your compassion, your altruism. Not only that, it destroys your inner good qualities, your peace of mind. Upon there, it can destroy your relationships, your friendships, or your dignities, values. All of this very important quality who will destroy, not outside the enemy there. It's your anger, your hatreds, resentments. These are really, really dangerous emotion. These are the really, really your true enemy. It's your angers and hatreds. And it comes everywhere. Wherever you go, it can come. Specific, now this is year end, so it's a Christmas and New Year, so there are many celebrations you do, party, whatever, gatherings, drink, and that time, these emotions are, more possible to arises. And then, result of this emotion, what they're going to do, it destroy your party, it destroy your friendships, destroy your relationships, everything's destroyer, right? So these emotions, how should we stop them? Because remain with this anger and hatreds, it's very clear, right? It's very clear, it straight directly hurts you, harms you. But majority people don't know how to deal with these emotions. Maybe your external life, you really put so much effort to make sure everything goes well. Your house or the decoration in your house, your family, whatever things, like they put so much effort to make sure everything's perfect there, right? So why they want that is for happiness, family happy. That's how they think. Having nice house or having nice car or anything, the many things they're looking. As each of the family members, they put so much effort, work so hard to create these kind of beautiful things. Purpose is for happy family, no doubt, right? But this happy family, the joy, pleasure, who will going to destroy her? It's not something outside there. It's not only there. Mostly it comes within your heart. There's the emotions called anger, hatreds, resentments. When these emotion arises, the individual, these emotion will fully take over you. When these destructive emotion fully take over you, what it's going to do? Your physical appearance will become so ugly, so negative, right? Your physical appearance becomes so ugly, your speech will turn into so negative, your actions will turn into, of course, violent. Then result, you suffer, right? Those family members who lives with you, all of them suffer. So you work so hard to create all of this for happiness. But there's no happiness. Who destroy it? It's not outside there. Somebody steal you. It's nothing there. It's within your heart. It's very difficult. So that's why people working very hard for sake of happiness, but their happiness actually destroyed by themselves, right? Shantideva says, Dunge tortusem yuejans. They have wish to get rid of suffering. Every being has that, right? Dunge nilang momborjo. They themselves running after the sufferings. So that's how they say. They do not want suffering. They want to get rid of suffering, but themselves running behind the sufferings. Right? That's how we are. Our suffering, we own, create that suffering. We do not want it, but we're creating. Why? How? That's anger. Among the many destructive emotions we have, but one of the most dangerous, anger, hatreds. So these emotions will destroy everything, because your happiness is depend on them. As a family, each of the family members depend on each other, right? Family happiness is depend on each of the family members. So when your happiness is depend on somebody else, if you destroy them, result, you will be suffer. That's how it works. This is how, understanding the philosophy, the Buddhist philosophy called dependent origination. Everything's, in order to exist, dependent on something else. Where you depend on them, if you destroy them, you will be suffer, right? As a human beings, our health is dependent on our environments, right? So when you destroy the environment, who will suffer? We will suffer, right? Because we are dependent on them. You destroy them, you will be suffer. That's how we should understanding dependent origination, where Buddha taught everything exists dependently, right? Interconnected, interdependencies. So when you are dependent on something else, only the way to live happy, take care of them, right? Take care, which means love them, be compassionate to them. So having sense of love and compassion to the things which you depend on them, result makes you happy, right? That's the logic, that's the philosophy. So anger, hatreds, we call ignorance. Do not know that. They don't see these things. They don't understanding these things. So they think this is horrible, this is so bad, everything bad, bad, bad. So that's why they do the violent. They do the negative way. And the result, oneself suffer, right? So therefore, how should we get rid of this anger? Is that possible to change them or not? First, we need to understand your anger. According to Buddhist psychology perspective or Buddhist philosophy, our destructive emotions like our angers, our hatreds, destructive emotions are not engaging to the nature of our mind. Nature of human mind is very pure, very clean. Destructive emotions are temporary. They are not engaging to the nature of the mind. If human nature is anger, hatred, if our nature is negative, anger and hatred, of course when this emotion arises, we have to be comfortable. Right? This is our nature. But these emotions, when they arise, physically, it's not suit. Mentally, it's not suit. Right? As soon as this emotion arises, mentally, it disturbs us. It's not make us comfortable, suiting us, it's disturbing us. That means this emotion is not suit with your mental. Whenever there arises something disturbing us. Physically, same, right? Anger, how much is damaging our health. Today there are many articles, new, what you call modern science, they're becoming quite now more interest about the minds, about the angers. Though the research, they're talking about how much it's what you call disturbing our physical health, right? Certain type of disease or certain type of the what you call immune systems everywhere, something disturbing. It's showing this emotion. It's not suit with our physical and mental both. That means it's separable. It's not in our nature. It's separable, right? That's showing us. So that's the first very important to understand, because this emotion is constantly hurting us. Clear thing is, you live with this emotion, the anger, hurt us, creates suffering. Not only you, it's also to others. But to get rid of this thing, first we should make sure is that separable. Is my anger, is this emotion separable with my mind, with me or not? Right? First, you need to understand that. So they have, according to the Buddhist philosophy, you give further more information. All of these destructive emotions are based on one of the ignorance called mind of ego grasping. And that mind of ego grasping is the wrong consciousness, wrong perception, is changeable. So there are lots of information about, called emptiness I mentioned earlier, which is actually, it's this philosophy helping us to understanding the mind of ego grasping is the one which is the main foundation of all our destructive emotion, and that mind of ego grasping is curable, changeable, is wrong perception. Through the logic, the reason, they're showing everything exists dependent origination, right? Interdependence, that philosophy. So we don't need to go too much that. For the simple thing here is my anger and hatred I mentioned, it's not suit with our body and mind. That is why it's showing separable. So how should we reduce them? How should we stop them? If you're really able to suppress, overcome your anger, tremendous benefit, lots of happiness. Imagine as a family member, right? If those family members remain 1 week without anger, just for 1 week, you can see that family, how much happy each other. There's lots of problem around here, lots of mistake around here, but still without remain anger for 1 week, you can see the harmony. joy, the pleasure, the families. Lots of happiness there, right? Then 1 month, slowly increasing 1 year, right? Finally, a whole life. Imagine if you live with your own friends, your own families, your own whatever you call the people who lives. Imagine you lives with them without anger for whole life. How much happy peace they have, right? So that's we should understanding. Having $1 million or remain without anger for years and years. If you're really smart to think which one is more beneficial. Remain without anger is of course, right, more beneficial because there's so much happy, peace. Purpose of money is for happiness, right? Having money doesn't mean it's happy, right? There are number of the people who commit suicide, right? Commit suiciders doesn't mean they are poor, they don't have food, they don't have money. There are the people who are quite rich, quite what you call famous superstars, right? Ended up commit suicides, some of them. So the person who's killing themselves means something going on, the pain, unbearable pains inside their heart. Who will going to kill themselves? Even like little insect, when you look at this, when you touch like ants, just little touch, what they're going to do? They run away, right? Showing they do not want to die. Right? In the river, you put the little stone, all the little fish run away, hiding. Why? They do not want to die. That's the nature. So killing oneself, that means inside, the burning pain and sufferings. So having money doesn't mean, having external successful life doesn't mean that person live with a very happy life, peaceful life. We can see in our own eye, right? Number of times there are some celebrities ended up with a very unfortunate life, right? Overdose or killing themselves, all kinds of things. They ended life on that way. So why are they doing these things? It's showing, inside there's a pain. So most of inner pain, mental pains, of course external condition around there, maybe too much computation, all kind of things around there. But the root causes is not external. Root causes is within their heart called destructive emotion. Too much attachment, too much greed, too much high expectation, too much anger, hatreds, these destructive emotions. One of these destructive emotions, what they do is disturbs your mind constantly. Sometimes even cannot sleep well. It constantly brings hurting this mind. So 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, constantly. How can they get rid of this? Sometimes they do not know. It's too much. That's how they give up their life, the pain. So we should understanding most of those pains, it's really think some kind of destructive emotion they have, mental afflictions inside there. So when you clean this destructive emotion, even external circumstances still there, too much computation, too much drama going on in your family, but if you really purify the inner causes, your anger or hate, whatever you have destructive emotion, when that you purify, external whatever things arises will not that much affect you. You still live peaceful. You still live happy. That is why, as a human beings, we should really, really learn that, understand these things. Because today, 21st centuries, right, our modern educations, general educations are very, very important. But the most of today, the modern education is, most of these are about material things. So we are very, 21st centuries, the students are very smart about the material. Sometimes you give this little phone to 5 or 6 age, those, they know how to do all kinds of things. We do not know these things. They know how to open, to go inside, even barely, walk properly, but they're doing all kinds of these things. It's kind of like shocking, how smart about these technology things. They learn, they pick up very fast. But it's good. I'm not saying these are bad. It's very important. But the problem is, in the ancient time, they very much emphasized on mind, emotions, right? Now these things are slowly, slowly disappearing. So today, 21st century's people have lack of understanding their emotions, lack of understanding their minds. They do not know how to take care of their minds. When they have mental issue, they always try to find the solution. It's something, chemical things. Take this pill or take these drugs and take these things, that will fix you. Of course, in the temporary, it may help, right, at the temporary. But long term, of course not. Slowly, slowly, that's how it's become addictions now, these things. So now today in the new generation, you can see even teenagers, sometimes they have depression, mental issues. They have to take, medications for deal with their mental things. So that's how it is. So it's getting worse, worse, worse. Right? If they're really not study on emotion things, it's getting worse because external things becoming more compete each other's. And everything you can see in your palm today, right? In this little phone, what's going on everywhere. You can see from there. So that brings you so much thoughts, so much computation, so much information, but they do not know which kind of emotion hurts you, which kind of destructive emotions will create you suffering, how to heal from them, how to overcome. Lack of understanding, they have no idea. Therefore, mentally so much disturbing, constantly disturbs their mind. So the solution is now, today, simple solution is drink and drunk. That's how they, people ended up there, and drink and drunk. And even that drink is not strong enough, then there's little things, drugs, right? It's called the drugs. So they're taking all kind of variety types of the drugs. Then I don't know what they're doing. It's maybe damaging or, but most of those drug addictions, you can see the people, how much mentally they have problem, and then brain also, the function, it's not very well. Even high educated, even very talented person, when they ended up with this kind of addiction, then they fail everything. Cannot use. Like you have a very fancy car, but your engine is broken now. It's same like that. Now it's useless, right? The parents spend so much money to go to the fancy, school, all kind of things. Now the engine is finished. So when their mind is going wrong, then useless. So therefore, these are very, very important. So among these, today, only one part, anger, just that, how to deal with this. So for that, who can antidote to the anger is your love, your compassion. Love and compassion are the directly antidote to the anger. But in order to cultivate love and compassion, to reduce anger, you need patience, tolerance, forgiveness. These minds helps to protect your love, your compassion will remain there. Lack of patience, tolerance, forgiveness, maybe for a few days you may meditate on love and compassion. After things going wrong, a little bit here, there, easily your love can disappear. Easily. Anger will come. When the anger becomes powerful, your love and compassion will decline, right? So therefore, patience and tolerance, we need it. So how should cultivate patience? How should cultivate tolerance? So first, a very, very important thing is individual yourself really understand your disadvantages of your anger. It's not just philosophical things, it's experiential level. Through your heart, your experience, really I know my anger, my hatreds, my resentment is the one who destroying me, who put my life, loneliness, who cut all my relationships, friendships, who put my life solitary, something in the corner, right? Sent it there by my anger, my hatreds. That you need to first think again and again. You should look to the other people, very angry guy, right? As soon as when he become angry, his face you should look, his behave, actions, way of his using the word, everything you reflect it and look at. Everything's scary, right? Violence. That kind of behave, even your dog, when they saw that, when they see this kind of behavior, even dog don't like that, right? Even dog will run away. Of course, human being, of course, right? If still sitting there means there's something wrong with their mind, maybe. Otherwise, soon as when they saw like this kind of things behave, they all run away. That's why, what they means, that's why they put yourself separate, lonely, put there. You're cutting your whole things. You look from that, then you apply to yourself now. When I become angry, I act that. I do these things. That is why my families, my friends don't like me. They try to stay away with me because of these kind of behave. So that's how you need to reflect it. Again, blame to your anger, not to you. Person, there's no reason to blame to that. Your anger is not you, right? You can stop the anger, doesn't mean you stop you. We antidote to the anger. That doesn't mean we antidote to the person, right? So sometimes you do not distinguish between your emotion and yourself. That's why sometimes out of anger you do something bad things, you feel so guilt, then you blame to yourself, then you put down to yourself, then eventually you hate to yourself, getting worse and worse. So that's why knowing that one part of anger is mental disease. When this disease arises, what they're going to do? It's destroying me. It changed my life completely negative. Right? When the person, when he or she not drink, very nice person. After the drink, when they become a drunk, sometimes become horrible and beat to other people, shouting them, all kind of behavior they're doing. Why? It's chemical. Right? That chemical reaction make that person very negative. Exactly the same thing. My anger, will going to do that way. Others' anger, how much they're destroying them, same, my anger will going to destroy me. That's how you should reflect it again and again. It's very important to feel from your heart, I really, really need to stop my anger. Wish to free from one's own anger. Wish to change one's own anger. If you do not have that wish, then patience, tolerance, whatever practice will not that become powerful, not successful. So from deep of your heart, you feel disgust to your anger. You feel tired to your anger. You feel fear, concern, worry towards one's anger. Through that, you really feel wish to get rid of your anger from deep of your heart. That's the first meditation, right? It's called meditate on disadvantages of anger. And right now I'm talking here, it's just for everybody, who believer or non-believers, both. For the believers, specifically for the Buddhists, there are more things you can think. Buddhists believed one of the very important, it's called the merits, virtues, right? Merits and virtues are the causes of happiness. These are like the money, you put it into the bank, right? You saved it, then you can use many lives. Similarly, you accumulate merits and virtues. The benefit of merit and virtues, not only this life, we are thinking even the next life, right? Even to achieve Buddhahood, virtues are very important. So these virtues and merits, who will destroy her? External enemy? Nobody. Who destroy her? Your own anger, hatreds. That's why Buddha's, many sutras, the Buddha's teachings, the sutras talking about anger is the one of the worst, the danger emotion who can destroy us, eons of life of the merit, virtues you accumulated, right? Shantideva, we've been studying many times, also said the chapter 6, the patient, beginning of the chapter says that, right? All your merit will destroy by your angers. That's how we should think again, right? When you destroy your merits, no merits, then the next life, more difficult to find the higher rebirths, right? It's all the merits. So upon these things. Then another thing is anger, what they're going to do, it's obstruct to achieve compassion, love, bodhicitta. Means the anger is the one obstruct you to achieve Buddhahood. If there is no external enemy there who can stop you, who will obstruct you to achieve liberation, called nirvana, Buddhahood? Your own anger, your own hatreds. So it's not only destroy in this life your happiness, destroy your next life, all your merits, it destroy, is obstruct you to achieve the liberation, nirvana, or can say Buddhahood. All have come from there. So through understanding on that, you should feel really wish to get rid of that anger. Then the next, right? So the patience comes that. Otherwise you think, oh, patience, what? This is not big deal. Patience is the one helps you, right, to protect yourself. When the enemy angers arises, patience is the one who puts the shield to you, not take over you. That's why the patient protect you. It's the one of the best protections. But how can we apply the patience, right? That's why the second thing is, there's one stanza, Shantideva says, I like this stanza very much. He says, Medu chetan deba yi kekche pali chungjuruba. Yimi debe se nye ne shetan tekte ta chomsos. He's saying, having found its fuel of mental unhappiness. Mental unhappiness called the fuel. Fuel of what? Anger. So having found its means anger's fuel of mental unhappiness. In the how mental unhappiness arises in the prevention of what I wish for. You wish something, somebody prevent, somebody obstruct you, you feel unhappy, right? So then, and in the doing of what I do not want. So something you do not want it, but somebody doing for you, that makes you unhappy, right? So mental unhappiness is the fuel of anger. Then what you say? Hatred increases and then destroys me. So anger fuel, the fuel of anger is mental unhappiness. When your mind is not happy, that's the danger. It will create anger now, right? So that before you feel angry, first, mental unhappiness. That's how the Shantideva says, mental unhappiness, the fuel of your anger. Mental unhappiness arises when you wish, you want something, somebody obstruct you, prevention what you want, you are not happy. You do not want something, but somebody make it, doing for you, makes this thing, you are not happy. So those unhappiness are the one which is the fuel of anger. Then you're going to, after that, you feel angry. Hatred increase. What's the result? Destroy you, right? So now, in order to stop the anger, we need to stop that mental unhappiness. That's the one thing now. Living in samsara, right? We call samsara, mundane. Samsara means suffering of cyclical existence, right? So this is how we are today. So sometimes it is very important to understanding we are in samsara, we are not in the heaven, right? So because sometimes our expectation is too high. You keep very high expectation. Then when you not get there, you become frustrated, easily feel unhappy. Always keep low expectation. It helps you, protect you from anger. So low expectation, how should we create? We should understanding where we live today in this world is samsara, right? It's suffering of cyclical existence. It's called contaminated realms. Every beings, we all ended up into these realms because we are under the influence of destructive emotions, contaminated karmas. Right? We are living in that. That's how result is that. So it's never become perfect. That's the realm we are. If you're born into the heaven, right? If you live in the heaven, then somebody shout you, somebody did, of course you can feel angry. Because this is heaven. Everybody should be very nice each other, right? So there's somebody, strangers come like that. It makes sense to feel upset. But you are not in heaven. We are in samsara, right? We're in the troublemakers here. So that's how it is. If you're born into the mud, I always reminding you, if you're born into the mud, there's nothing to complain, I'm stuck into the mud. Of course you will stuck into the mud. You're born in there. So you always have there's a mud around there. We're born into samsara. So that's how we should understanding. Our expectation is the reality. Go with the reality. That helps you to feel too much easier to apply your patience, tolerance. Yes, we're born into there. Always there's a crazy people there. People can do these things. You feel much easier. You already very high expected than problems, right? Because mental unhappiness is the one creating this. So when you keep low expectation, less mental unhappy. When you encounter with something difficult situation, it's not makes you that much upset because you already expect it this way. That's how we should learn, right? Then the next here saying, next stanza is, he says, therefore I should totally eradicate the fuel of this enemy. Therefore, I should totally eradicate the fuel of this enemy, means the fuel of your anger, which is mental unhappiness. I need to stop this, eradicate mental unhappiness first. For this enemy has no other function than that of causing me harm. This enemy, anger, has no any other function, right, than that causing you harm, suffer. That's all. There's nothing any functions. Therefore, I need to stop this mental unhappiness. How should we stop this mental unhappiness? When I encounter with certain things which I wanted but is not get there, which I do not want, but somebody make these things, when I encounter with that, how can I stop this mental unhappy? Then final, very important instruction, the Shantideva says, Gete chesu yenani tele mega chishi, gete chesu mena tele mega chechi pants, which means, why are you unhappy about something if it cannot be remedied? What is the benefit of being unhappy if, what do you say? Why be unhappy about something if it can be remedied? Yes, first. Second, what is the use of being unhappy about something if it cannot be remedied? What that mean? It means when you encounter with any situation, right? Certain things, of course you don't like them, but certain situation you can fix it. Certain things you cannot fix it, right? So here the first, any problem, any your family problem or the big nation's problem, right? Any problem when it comes to you, put it into two. One problem you can solve. This problem. One problem, you cannot solve it. Right? It's impossible. You put it into these two. All the problems include into these two things. So the things which you can able to solve the problem, then you say, why you be unhappy? You go there, fix these problems. Right? It's very simple logic. So something, it is fixable. Right? Then you don't like it. So here saying, why are you unhappy? If you don't like this thing, is this fixable? Go and fix it. There's no problem then. So there's no reason to be upset. But a certain problem, if you cannot remedy it, then you say, what is the benefit of being unhappy about something you cannot fix it? You accept it, just leave it there. It's a very simple, very powerful. You should try it. Any situation when you encounter, we oftenly, always, there's something problems, right? Never end it. It's one after one, one after one. So you should learn that philosophy where the Shantideva says, right? So, okay, I'm realizing I'm not happy today because of this situation. But this unhappiness, what they're going to do? It increase my hatred, anger, and finally it destroys me. That's only the result. So remain in unhappiness mental state is not healthy. It's a very danger. So I need to fix it. Though look at, this problem, I can fix it. I can talk with them, I can deal with them, I can apologize, whatever. It's fixable. I go ahead, I can do these things. Fix it, problem solved, no unhappy now, right? Your mind is calm. Then another thing, there's the one problems. Okay, I cannot fix it. This is in order to fix this, other scientists need to be more involved with that. So I myself cannot do it. So then, what is the benefit being unhappy? Just live that way, accept it, just live it that way. And just when you ignore and live with that, slowly mind slowly calm down, right? It gives you peace, then no angry. Like for instance, in the social media, somebody puts so bad things to you, right? It goes everywhere now, right? So it's everywhere there. So you are upset, you are worried, what is the benefit of being unhappy? Because your unhappiness is not going to solve the problems. Whatever is gone there, whatever is finished now. There's nothing to do with that. Rather ignore it. Just stay with your mental peace. You are happy. It not causes you pain, right? So other people may think, some of them may think you are great, or like from the Buddhists, they may think you are Buddha. Some people may think you are devil, right? That's their thinking. So if you nothing to know, don't care about that thing, it's not going to be affect anything. That's their thoughts, right? So, but we are somehow, people may think me this way, people may thinking about me this way. You concern so much and you cannot control their thought. Even you cannot control your own thoughts, how can you control them? Their thoughts, right? Each day people can think 1,000 different thoughts. You cannot control these things. So rather you can, these are, out of my control. There's nothing to do with these things. Rather accept it, ignore it, keep your minds calm, no anger, no hatreds. That's called patience, tolerance. You're patient. Patience means true understanding the result of anger, the result of being unhappy. Nothing benefit to you, nothing benefit to your family. It hurts you. I give up. I choose healthy mind, right? Go into that way, ignore these things. Patience, right? That protects you. So that is why patience is one of the main, those patience is when your mind is become unhappy about anything, not just go what you call fast on that way. Pause there, think, recollect why I'm not happy with this, blah, 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 right? Then to this simple logic, this is fixable, I can fix it. Or this is impossible to fix, okay, I ignore it. What's the benefit of being unhappy? Just talk with that, you can heal from your mental unhappiness. When you heal from that mental unhappiness, no anger, right? That's called the patience. So therefore these patience are very, very important practice. It's very useful during this what you call now holiday times. It's very, very important to use this, because when the families are back, your friends are back, to stay for days and days, then slowly we'll start the drama. First few minutes is very exciting, right? Then slowly, hours, days, then slowly it comes, those drama. Then end of the day, maybe 2-3 days after, maybe split it out, right? That goes that way. So these patient tolerance are really, really powerful. So therefore, the topic today I choose, the patient, is very useful and very important during these times, holiday times. So if your detail wants to know that, then you can read the Shantideva text, the Guide of Bodhisattva Way of Life. There's a 10th chapter, specific chapter 6, really powerful. You can go into what you call this, Google, you can find this PDF file free. There are many translations there. So chapter 6, during this holiday time, just read it, few stanzas. It's really powerful. You don't need to read complete finish. 2-3 stanzas, even I read only the 2-3 stanzas, and think and apply exercise to your own problem, right? You have. So apply on these things and work with that. Exercise your mind. It's really powerful. Then you can share to your families when they come together. Everybody have their own issues. Work problem, this problem, neighbor problem, blah, blah. So you can share with them, okay, why not you should think this way? Why not you should think that way? Instead of telling, yes, your neighbor's so bad. Then they become more and more angry now. Right? Sometimes majority people, when they support, means they're supporting their anger. They're supporting their greeds. That's the negative way, because this guy will suffer more eventually. So go with the other side. How to stop their anger, how to stop their greeds. But the anger and the greeds are the one they're destroying them. So these teachings, when you read yourself during the holiday times and share with them, even one stanzas, when you share, it's really powerful. After finish this holiday, when they go back to their work, they can still utilize, they can still remember this powerful, stanza, heals me, save my life. That's the true friends, right? That's the true family. So that's why study on this and read constantly and utilize yourself and apply to your struggle and then share with others. That will benefit to others. Okay, we're going to stop here now. Finally, there are a few dedication prayers we have. So first we're reciting the mantra of compassion, and then after long-line meditation, then finally dedication. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. And thus, honorable, compassionate gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. And thus, honorable, compassionate gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. Dalai mi pa ta da ki te Geshe la ta wa yi troi que de ta de ba ji ki lo troi que de ta de ba ji ki lo Chanjo semcho rinpoche ma che pa nam ki chuchi che pa nyam pa me pa yang kone kongto pewa show. May the precious and sublime Bodhicitta not yet born be born, and that which has been born not decline, but increase forever. Okay, thank you.